Again, coming back to topic. So, what is SOA architecture? So, we had it is collection of services. It provides you link between sender, consumer, and the provider. We have, let's say, an example of that. I gave you example of Google.com. So again, you have the provider as Google.com, and you are the consumer. So you are using Firefox as an your middleware, which is converting your whatever the request you said www.google.com, it converts it and send it to the Google server in XML format. As being Satya, you are the part of PI team, so you are aware of what is XML and how it works. Okay, so your Firefox, again, it also works on XML in SOAP and REST REST type of communication. Okay, so you have the SOAP. You go for a request and you get a response from the Google.com server as an HTTP. That would be in your XML format. So your Firefox convert that and it converts the XML into HTTP format, and you have your page layout, okay, in front of you. So that is the SOA architecture. SOA architecture has this stateless and stateful type of communication, which again we do in the PI type of PI also, and we create our service interface. We do say which is it an abstract, is it in stateless, is it in stateful. Generally abstract used to work for the BPMs. Okay, so now generally we go with the stateless type of communication where your client is independent, responsible for its actions, and server does not track the sets of client and ensure that cache data is up to date. Okay, so your in stateless, your server details and server data, it is not been tracked by your middleware, whereas in case of stateful, those are. Okay, so these are two major things which comes into picture when we are talking about the SOA architecture. That day I stopped at SOA and I had to start the middlewares. So as we are aware, where exactly middlewares come into picture. Middleware is a software which connects to different components in your implements. Either it would be your software components or enterprise application. Middleware is also software which lies between operating system or application of on each side of the distribution computer network. Okay, so it is again in terms of PI, which acts is in middleware. You have desktop, you have the MQ series, you have a MuleSoft, you have Dell Boomi. So there are n number of tools which are there in the market, which helps you to connect two different applications or enterprise applications to communicate with each other. Okay. Typically, it supports complex distributed business software applications. Okay, and it is again a collection of services. Okay, so these are the popular middleware tools which are there in the market. Okay, so most of you think this you might have heard of. You have the TIBCO, Web Methods, Oracle Fusion. You have Dell Boomi, you have PIPO, you have MuleSoft. You must have heard of Informatica. So there are different middleware tools which are already present in the market. But being as an SAP, we tend to go with the SAP proprietary middleware tools, which are either your PIPO, your HCI. Earlier it was Business Connector. Okay. So this is the evolution of your middlewares. Okay, SAP middlewares. So first of all, you had the Business Connector. The first middleware tool which came into market is from SAP was your SAP Business Connector, also known as SAP BC. So this middleware, it was created in 1999. It was a joint venture with the SAP, means of SAP with the web methods. Okay, so web method was already present in the market as a middleware solution. Okay, so what SAP did is SAP provided their own proprietary interfacing solutions, which were RFC type of communication, your IDOC type of communication. Okay, so or means this two means HTTP type of communication. These three type of communication were provided by SAP, but so HTML, XML based communication, those were provided by web methods. So in short, means both this company gave their own proprietary software and communication methods, and they created one software called Business Connector. So this is basically the architecture of Business Connector, where you have an R3. Earlier, you know that means before ECC, it was called R3. So you had the R3 system. Above that, you have a Business Connector layer. Okay. So just after R3, your R3 was connected to your Business Connector, and the Business Connector in turn sends the data to external internet network. Okay, so here again HTTP, your internet network would be your HTTP. Okay, so if your R3 had to send a data to another R3 system, so it first converted from R3 to your Business Connector, means your Business Connector would take the data from your R3 system. It would then send it to over internet, and from internet again at the respective R3 end, receiver end, you again have a business connector which would convert the HTTP or XML, whatever the over the internet type of communication they have set, to their proprietary connections, which would be your RFC or your IDOC. So based on that, the communication would be done. If it was SAP, then you had business connector. If it was not SAP, then it would be a non-SAP system. Then it would be any other proprietary middleware tool, which would be, let's say, Desktop or anything, means which would support that non-SAP system. Okay. If it was the web applications, then your HTTP, you can directly send the data to HTTP, or you can directly send the data to web container or web browser. So in only case of the application softwares, enterprise applications, okay, you need to have the business connectors or the other middleware tools present. Okay. Hello?
Yes, Hana.
Hello? Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Hana.
So
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
okay. So this was about the business connector. Okay. Raghu, had we covered this business connector last batch? I don't think so.
No, Hana. No.
No, no? Oh. And your background is, sorry to ask you again, your background is?
Yeah, I'm PIPO.
Okay, so is this required to
I'm
you
working
to?
It's your wish, Hana.
Because even Satya is from the PIPO background.
Okay.
You can go through just a little bit faster than this. You don't need to explain.
Yeah, you can
Yes,
you can ignore these two parts.
Yeah. No,
yes, I guess so, because that is,
like, yeah, this part also, I think you can just whatever you want to say, just tell it.
yes. That just it. Yep. I'm just because why I'm saying is because it won't be redundant to you. I don't want to make it redundant. Anyway, so
Yeah,
just
it's
give
going
it.
to be redundant, but still, I know that's how the training is going to be, and if you don't tell that you don't have the momentum to go for the next steps, I know, right? So you just go whatever
Yeah, I'm giving. I mean, don't worry. Don't worry.
Slow down that product.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, again, after 2000 means there were you might be aware we had a dual stack where it was a buggy software. SAP themselves created their own middleware tool where means web method they went onto their way of creating their web method application, and now SAP created their message broker. Means the earlier name of XI was message broker. Then later on they gave it the name XI. Okay, infrastructure exchange. In infrastructure exchange, they it was a dual stack. Okay, so again, half was on ABAP and half was on your Java. On ABAP, you had the HTTP and your what was it, IDOC adapters, whereas in other adapters who are residing on Java, you have the file adapter, you have the mail adapter, you have the you had JDBC adapter. So all these adapters were residing on the Java stack. There were some pros of dual stack and there were some cons. There were more cons than pros. Okay, the pros were that you had the ABAP mapping. Okay, you had the CC/BPM. Okay, your configuration for the SAP was quite simple, whereas in the single stack that is not the case. Let's first concentrate on what are the pros in this. Okay, so your ESR and your ID, those were residing on your Java stack. Okay, you had your advanced Java adapter engine that was again was residing on the Java stack. All the processing part, all the integration engine, your business process engine, that was residing on the ABAP stack. So the case was when you have the processing engine or your integration engine residing on the ABAP stack, everything was flowing from Java to ABAP, then it get processed. Okay, everything comes to cache memory in your Java, then it get processed, and then it was sent back to the Java if it's again is going to, let's say, file adapter. So the data which was flowing from Java to ABAP and then ABAP again Java, it was creating too much of bugs. Even you might have got that issue that where you need to restart, you had to have the soft restart or hard restart, where your PI was getting stuck in the error message and all those things, and also the processing was very slow. Means the total throughput of the message was very slow. So so what SAP did is SAP just dished off the ABAP stack, and they only went for the Java stack. And we know means your Java is more rich with features and can support many more functionality as compared to Java, as compared to ABAP, because ABAP again being is not an open source, so not so many features or not so many APIs and features are available in the ABAP, SAP ABAP. So SAP went for the Java stack, pure Java based communication. Okay, let's see. Go with the PI, or we can say single stack from 7.31. We had the single stack PI. Okay, so everything was on ABAP. Everything was on Java, where you had the integration repository, or the new name ESR, and the enterprise service repository, your integration directory, both were residing on the Java stack. Even your integration integration engine that is on Java. So there is no requirement of sending the data from one stack to another stack, and installation was quick. Means the cons were that the installation was quick, your processing was quick, the maintenance was quick, as compared to what was I'm talking about the dual stack configuration. Okay, you you had the total cost of ownership was very low for the PI. Okay, but means pros were means but there was some we don't have the ABAP mapping. If you have ever created ABAP DOM stack DOM parsing mapping in ABAP for PI, that is was not available in the single stack. You don't have the CCBPM which was there in the ABAP stack dual stack. Okay, you now have the PO where you everything is joined, but in only PI it is not possible. Okay, but overall, to increase the processing time, to increase the software. Okay, generally after this, what I do is I tend to go with the overview of PI and all these things, but I will be giving you the document of overview of PI, ESR and ID. Not to worry about that. I will be sending a mail to you, or this Praveen or Bharat, they will be sending a mail to you with all the documents which will be attached. But I will be specifically taking a session later for the IDOC configuration or ALE configuration, which means I will be taking each step, means what, how an IDOC is created, what are the segments, how do we do the port configuration, what are the partner profile configuration. So I will be doing those even quickly, one or 1 hour session, 1.5 session, mainly on the IDOC. Why? Because IDOC configuration would be required, or it is an integral part when it comes to communication from SAP, and that would be required when I'm showing the ECC to C4C. So that would be, or vice versa. So if something is created on the C4C and that need to be replicated on the ECC, so it would be done by the IDOC. So I will be giving you a quick reference of IDOC also, but it would be around 15th session. Okay. Because others in the batch, means the 2 or more, they are, I guess, not PI literate, or means integration literate that much. So I will be giving that background to them. I will be hoping that you might correct me if I go wrong somewhere in the because again, means if I go somewhere wrong, so you can teach me or you can correct me. Okay. So so I would like you to be in the call. So don't skip that. Okay. So today quickly we will jump onto the overview of our HCI. Okay. Just a second. Just a second. Raghu, you're there, na?
Hello?
Yeah, Raghu, you're there, na? Because I think you are frequently connecting,
Yeah.
disconnecting.
Yeah, there was some network issues there.
Okay, okay. Anyway. So, but you are catching, na? You are not missing some part, na?
Yeah, I'm catching.
Okay, okay. So, this one, anyway. So, ever heard of Hana Cloud platform? Raghu, Satyam?
Yeah, I hear.
So
Yes, I know that HCP is what is HCP and all, but to go through that, what is it?
yep. So so first of all, before even going to HCI, okay, so means we need to understand what it is based on and what is the what is HANA Cloud Platform, because even if you go to advise a client that it should buy HCI, you should have little prior knowledge about what is HANA Cloud Platform is. Okay, so HANA Cloud Platform, it is an open platform, sorry, which allows user to create, update or extend the cloud applications or cloud offering from SAP. It also means it provides you to it allows you to use the rich features, which would be either Java, the extended service on HANA, or the HTML5 or UI5, whatever both are means semantic. So you can use those features to create your own apps. Okay, so there are basically three scenarios in HCP. Okay, HCP is again I need to clear three things. Means HANA Cloud Platform. If you have ever heard of SaaS, PaaS, or IaaS, these are the three things which are now trending in the market. Software as a service, which you all know, means your HANA Cloud integration is kind of software service. Okay, you have PaaS, platform as a service, which is your HANA Cloud Platform. Okay, or you have IaaS. Okay, or we can say infrastructure as a service. So basically, this is the new thing. It means generally, whenever a company goes for implementing some software, earlier it had to buy that software, and it was required to update from themselves, and once they have bought, the support company do tend to give the support package, but it was required by the customer or the partners to do all those tasks, whereas it is not the case in the means platform as a service or software as a service. Let's say an example just for you as Gmail. Okay, just an on the ground level example. Okay, so each time you open a Gmail, you are not required, means you it is not means you are not required to update that, or you're not required to do the patches upgrade. That is again done by Google team. Okay, but but if you have some on-premises software, then you need to install the upgrades. Let's say your viruses, antiviruses, you need to update it, or each time you need to connect to internet and you need to update that software. So software as a service, you are going for the subscription package, which you are just paying for their services. Okay, platform as a service, platform, it is a new concept where you are given a platform where you can create your own applications using the inbuilt features of the provider. Okay, so let's say if you want to create a new application, so from scratch, let's say from scratch you need to create an application. So for creating some applications, you need to have some tools. So on that platform as a service, you have all the application tools ready to create that application and deploy that same to the cloud. Okay, so that is a platform as a service. You have again an infrastructure as a service. So that is again a new thing. Okay, infrastructure means when you are having, let's say you want to deploy a software on a cloud, or just an example, if you have ever heard of Azure or HANA Enterprise Cloud. These are the two major means for SAP means, where you can install your on-premises software also. So you just go for the subscription of the infrastructure. So you will be given a dedicated amount of memory, or let's say infrastructure, processor, servers. All these which are present at the providers and the customer. They don't need to even buy, don't need to install anything on their local. Okay, so everything is on the provider end, and we don't need to do anything. We just need to buy that place, and it is ready to go. Okay, so these are the three things which are there in the market: SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Okay, we are dealing with the PaaS, okay, platform as a service, and your HANA Cloud integration is your software as a service. Okay, so in PaaS, the platform as a service, you can create your own applications. Okay, your cloud application, which would be directly residing on your cloud, your on-premises extensions, which means some applications which you can create on your UI5, and you can take the data from your on-premises, let's say ECC. You can extract the data from ECC and you can use that to the display some reports, or all the sales order document, or all sales of sales data you can display to the application. Okay, so that is again on-premises application. Okay, again, and third scenario would be cloud extension. So cloud extension mean when you want to, let's say you have a success factor. So success factor is a SAP cloud, which is basically for the HR data. So if you want to extend that cloud, or you want to add some features to that cloud, you can use HANA Cloud Platform. You can create your cloud extension, and you can attach or deploy to that success factor, so that you can achieve some customized functionality. So that can be done on your HANA Cloud Platform. Okay, you just click on this link. Let it open, sorry. Yeah, the faster. Okay, so you can go to this link, SAP HANA, SAP.com. Okay, and you can find out what is this platform, what are the features available, which which all things are supported in HANA Cloud Platform. You have Java, you have XSJS. Okay, so extended service of your HANA, you have HTML5, you have UI5, which you can send to the, which you can use it to create or deploy your applications on HANA Cloud Platform. Okay, it is an open asset, means you can create your own user ID, means it's an trial user ID for 30 days, and you can create your own application, just for reference understanding it. Okay.
We have HCI inside it.
Sorry?
30 days trial is for HCI also.
No, it is only for HANA Cloud Platform. For HCI, there is another link called trial.hci.com